What up, everyone? Welcome to Darkness Descends with the JK-47. I forget the name of my own show. I gotta fix that. Anyways, tonight we have this very special guest, but first I want to shout out to everybody, our sponsors here. There's Chris is in the house. What up, brother? Let's get started. So, Parapost, legit podcast is now on Parapost Network. Anybody out there, if you have a podcast and you want some more exposure, go ahead and talk to the admins and Parapost. His name's Brian J. Laverty. He does an awesome job, and I can't thank him enough for getting us hooked up. Mike Adkins, what's up? Mike Adkins is legit tumblers. Look at that. You get your own logo. You can get your logo on there, and you get the legit, and then it keeps the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold. And also want to shout out High Harvest and hey, Fluffy Bubble 420. What's up? Yeah, we're just shouting out High Harvest. Welcome, brother. And Chris Byers 3 days in the hospital last week, but I'm good now. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Sorry you were in the hospital, bro. Hope things get better for you. Who else do I got? We got legit podcast, and I'm excited. If you haven't checked out our network, there's shows pretty much every day of the week except Saturday. So, and one of the shows is EPP, Exploring the Paranormal Perspective. And the host of that is Mrs. Sha Wooten. What's up? How you doing?
Oh, hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got your show. When's your show on Legit?
My show on Legit is on at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Central Time on Sunday?
On Sundays, yes. On Sundays.
It's the pre-recorded, right? You're a week ahead, or?
Well, not necessarily. I've been trying to figure the damn shit out because I stream on Streamlabs through Twitch and Kick, mostly kick.com because they pay better. But I'm trying to figure out how to show that with the StreamYard, because I kind of do StreamYard and then I share my window for my game, my podcast. But there's echo, so I'm gonna have to get my laptop out and do it on that, and then do it because I got all the bells and whistles on Streamlab. I don't got the bells and whistles on StreamYard, so I wanna share the bells and whistles.
yeah, like all the background stuff and all
that cool stuff. My overlays and my alerts, and yeah, definitely.
So Chris says Chris? You play plenty of games too.
Oh, so I do.
Out your Twitch channel. What's your Twitch channel?
It's Geeks Paranormal, easy, all over the place. Right. Yeah.
So. You guys want to see Sha playing some games? She has a fun time.
I try.
R-rated. It's R-rated.
Oh yeah, you got to be 18 plus because I do a lot of cussing. I'm an ex-army person. I got to do I don't have a filter.
That's right. You're in the service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. So
you suffer way more than I did.
Yeah, it was pretty bad over there. It sucked. I was glad to get out.
Oh.
All right, Sha Wooten. So tell me about first paranormal experience. When did you start getting into the paranormal? When were you interested in it?
Well, the funny thing is, the first time I ever experienced anything paranormal, I have to say I was close. I was young. I was really young. My papa had died, and I remember being on a swing and crying and saying I wish he would push me, and I felt a push. Well, whenever you're that young, you don't really process it. You don't think of it as being paranormal or anything. And then the older I got, I did start messing with Ouija boards about my teenage years, and some weird shit happened on that. And it was like not really processing that, thinking it was my buddies doing the stupid shit. But in the service, I had a good friend, and one night she wanted to play a Ouija board, but she wanted to prick fingers, and I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. And we were drinking. She pricked my finger, and blood got on the planchette, and her daughter was in the doorway of the bathroom and started crying. And I got up and I went over to her and I said, "What's up, honey? What's the matter?" And she's like, "They don't want me there." And whenever I heard they, I thought she was talking about the people that were with us. So I was like, "Of course they want you there. What are you talking about?" She goes, "No, not them, them." And she was pointing to an opposite side of the room. And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're done."
Yeah. You don't want to get that just sounds bad.
Yeah. But after that, I still didn't really process it until I moved to Okie, which I'm originally from LA, Lower Alabama. So whenever I moved to Oklahoma, I was a coach or a supervisor at a call center, and a friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine about ghost adventures and all the paranormal stuff. I'm like, you know what? I would really love to start my own team because, it interests me, and I would love to be able to prove that this stuff is real. And she's like, "Why don't you?" And I'm like, "Well, you know what? Why don't I?"
That's what I said. I'm like, why not?
So in 2012, Geeks Paranormal was born.
There you go.
And been doing it ever since.
All right. So Geeks Paranormal born. What's your favorite investigation? What's your most memorable investigation that you went on?
Actually, that didn't. Well, okay. So I have two. That's four. Two. Two. One is a place I really can't talk about. It's a hospital I can't talk about in Arkansas.
Okay.
Love that place. It's amazing. Every time I go there, I get something. But the most recent would be the Hinsdale House in New York.
Ooh,
that place is amazing. Yeah. And regardless of the hype or anything that people want to pull out there for it, experience it for yourself, because then you'll really see all the stuff that goes on in that house. It's just crazy.
So you just had a show about it, I believe. Wasn't it last week or the week?
Yep. It was last week.
And it's on Legit, right? So we can rewatch that?
Yep.
What'd you talk about? Just give us a brief summary of the episode.
Well, I was talking about the truths of the past of the house. Excuse me. A lot of people want to degrade, the books that have come out on it and state, hey, that really didn't happen, or that didn't happen. And regardless of whether or not it did or didn't happen, the outcome is still the same. Go experience it for yourself, because I have stuff on my tiki-talkie that I can't explain. I can't explain why a spirit was talking to me over and responding to me over the spirit box. I was putting my camera down, my phone camera, because I was live streaming on Twitch and Kick. And when I put it down, you hear, "Oh," and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. And it said something, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And it says, "Okay." And I'm like, sweet. So, and not only that, I've got this like pulsating orb, and okay, Keith H, please don't shoot me. But it is a pulsating orb. I can't describe it as anything else. I've done it frame by frame to try to find wings and a body and something that explains it. But it comes out of the ceiling so slow, and then it kind of goes in front of the camera, and it's like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen a bug that pulsates like that. And I just can't explain it, because it's normal speed, and it's kind of really slow as it comes down. And everybody knows a bug. It just kind of zips, and that's it. This was not a zip. It was a slow.
I totally agree. I've seen stuff, I'm not a firm believer of the orbs, but I like lately.
I'm not either.
The last 2 months, I'm starting to see black orbs, like
black orbs.
Yeah, with my naked eye, like they'll shoot across the room and
stuff.
And I think it's because I meditate every day. I use a frequency and I play it in my music, and I kind of train myself to try to focus on that frequency through the music,
Mm.
like ignore the music. Like I'm training my mind to, just learn to focus on that sound. And my sessions that I do every Tuesday with the cold cases and stuff, they're getting crazier and crazier. I'm getting crazy responses, and
Yeah, we
it's like,
need to do something because I do cold cases and stuff like that on my show too, on the true crime part.
mhm,
And I just did a cold case on a friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine that was murdered back in '99.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe with your
You know
gift,
what? I'll let me pull up a clip. I'll show you. I'll show you how crazy these responses are. I just use the standard SB7, like the $40 one, like the really cheap,
yeah.
and I get these crazy responses. I'm surprised you haven't seen the show yet, but
I've
let
seen
me
a
see.
couple of your of your clips.
Yeah, yeah. So this one was for the Jameson family. The Jameson family was in Oklahoma. Let me pause it real quick. I'll kind of explain it. But yeah, the family went up to look for new property,
Mm-hmm.
and they disappeared. And people found their truck a week later, and the dog was still in the truck, barely alive, and there was a bag of $30,000 underneath the driver's seat, and they couldn't find the
Oh, I've
family
heard of this
anywhere.
one. I've heard of
And
this one. Yeah.
some hunters found their bodies about 3 miles away from the truck 4 years
Oh,
later, and all the clothes were tattered. They found some bones. Um,
so
was
sad.
it was a very heartfelt case. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to help these people out, and that's funny because uh, I don't know who saw it, but somebody at Arrow Productions, they're in the UK. They do like crime shows on Discovery Plus. They reached out to me,
Ooh.
and I just talked to them. I showed them what I did, and I explained the SB7. Hopefully they'll call back. They said
Oh, they would.
they've done work with Cindy Kaza and stuff. So I don't know.
Nice.
I hope they take it to heart. But this clip here was my first session with them, and um, it takes a little bit, but you'll see the cat ball go off, and like my cat balls like don't go off at all, even though they're that close to the speaker. They don't go off unless they want to go off. And that
Right.
TV in the background,
Mm-hmm.
um, it will turn off on its own. I don't have a remote for it. I spent $5 on it
Oh,
at a
wow.
garage sale, and it's turned off twice on me. Um, Not on this clip, but yeah. Here, listen, see
Mm.
what you hear. Hold on,
All
let
right.
me play it. There's something there, guys. I gotta review that. Jameson family, your bodies were found about 3 miles away from your truck. Can you tell me how you died? How did you die? I think I heard they shot us. Did they shoot you with their gun, Carolyn? Yeah.
Oh, that was clear.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn.
That was
Listen to it
clear.
again.
I
Listen,
know.
listen to this. Yeah,
Wow. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And I
That
do
is
that.
great.
I do it here in my basement. Yeah, I don't have to. I figured out, like, from being in paranormal for 3 years, and just growing. I've learned that there's no time and space for spirit, and if I want to talk, all I have to do is is get my spirit guides to, let them know that I'm here for good intentions, and I'm just trying to help them out. Yeah. So it's crazy. I've gotten so much stuff. Like, I've gotten names of killers, and it's just crazy.
That is amazing. That is
And
amazing. You're a ghost
I,
magnet.
I scan at 150 milliseconds, so it's going pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I always make sure to scan that fast, if not faster. Like I have the 10 and I have the 7, and the 7, because I wear hearing aids, the 7 is really hard for me to hear unless I have a speaker connected to it. So I usually go with the 10 because the 10 is really loud. And not only that, it takes an SD card and I can record the whole thing.
All right. Is that the S box, or is that the?
That's the S box 10. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the 11. I didn't really want the 11.
I'm just sticking with what's working. I'm like,
right?
This baby.
If it works for you, that's great. I know a lot of people that still use their Radio Shack inventions that they made. And I would love to have had one of those because those are amazing. I would love a paddle box though. Have you heard of those? The portal box, the ones that doesn't have the white noise. And they use like a guitar amp and I don't know if they use the pedal. I think it's just the amp. But they wire it in such a way that it does like the spirit box. It'll sift through white noise and channel, but it's just the voices that come through, not the white noise. And I love it.
The thing I want one of those polter pods.
I've never heard of those.
Oh my God. So I'm friends with Jeff Conkle, who's the Ghost Adventurers tech guy, and he builds all their stuff. And I was asking him, I'm like, where'd you get the polter pod? How can I get one? And he's like, they stopped making them. Who was it that made them? It's some guy, and somebody, I think he was telling me somebody from the government told him to stop making them. So, it was pretty like conspiracy stuff. So I was like, damn. I'm like, can you rebuild it? He's like, I'm trying. I'm trying.
I would have said, you know what? Fuck the G. Oh, I'm sorry.
I did my service.
Right? I did my service. I don't have to come to you for anything.
But yeah, so if you could pick 3 pieces of equipment and that's it to go on a ghost, what 3 would you take?
Night vision camera, digi-recorder, and my spirit box.
Yeah. I take my spirit box, camera, and a cat balls. I love the cat balls.
I do like the cat balls. They are nice. But I also love the digis because sometimes the digis will catch something that the video will not.
Yeah. I've gotten some crazy EVPs. Like the first time I ever went live on TikTok, I was showing everybody how it's set up and stuff. And I was up on the stairs, to show them, the basement and stuff. And through my mic that was sitting, where was it sitting? In this chair. You hear his just weird, hey there. I was like, what the when I caught that, I was like, oh my God.
That would have kind of been like, oh shit. Research.
I've heard that same voice 3 times down here. It's crazy. Yeah.
Do you have any idea who it is?
Nah, it could be anybody, but
did you research the house?
This is a brand new house. We're the first owners.
Oh, then it had to have been. Oh, maybe it was something back in the day.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be my brother. My brother passed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Be my army friends that I lost. It could be it's just when that happens, it's just so unexplainable. It's just so amazing to have that.
It is. It is so much.
No poltergeist here. I protect my home. My guides protect me, and this house is very protected. I've done a lot of stuff to protect it. So, but yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Did you ever do any home cases? Do you help people with their houses?
I've done quite a few home cases over the years. All of them have been private, so I haven't been able to show anything. But yes, we've helped a lot of people over the years, and that has been really amazing because that's why I came in it for. I came in it to prove that the paranormal was real and to help people and let them know, hey, you're not crazy. This stuff does happen. Because I mean, look at society. Society is more accepting now, but they're more accepting because of the publicity aspect and the pay they might get. And it's not about the pay and it's not about the publicity. It's about helping people and helping these spirits, because it's not fair to go out and record something and not share that spirit's story. You know, they're offering it to you, they're giving it to you. You should give them the respect and decency. And I'm so sorry, spirits that are out there that's giving me anything. I am a one-woman troupe. I'm trying.
I'm the exact same way. All the investigations I've done on my own dime. And the fact that I knew spirit was with me was like, I started realizing, oh crap, this is getting expensive. And we went up to the casino here in Colorado. When was that? Back in 2020, 2021, I want to say. It was my father-in-law's birthday. And I'm like, all right, spirits, I need some money. Please help. And I hit the jackpot on an 80-cent bet. I won 20 grand.
Nice. 20 grand. I have never won that much at a fucking casino. Dude, nice.
On an 80-cent bet, I put in a 20 and I was on my last spin. And I said, come on.
Oh my God, the luck. Oh, well, it was your guides. Your guides were great to you.
I said, all right, you've helped people. You've helped us. So, yeah. Chris wants to know what beer that is.
It is Yingling, and no, they're not a sponsor yet. Yingling, I have written you. Well, I haven't written you, but I've had friends that have written you. You can be a sponsor.
That was my brother's favorite beer.
This has always been right. When I moved here in 2008, and I had to live without my favorite beer forever until last March.
No,
and then last
beer.
March,
whenever I go down there, that's all I'll drink down there is the Ling. Yeah.
Well, they send it to Oklahoma now, so you could probably just go to the border and be like,
yeah, take the 5-hour drive to get a 12-pack.
Hey, sometimes it's worth it. But no. Don't go that far.
How would you help the families? Like, how would you get rid of the spirit? What's your theory on how you help spirit cross over or tell them to move on?
I leave it up to the spirit. I don't try to push a spirit to move on because they may not want to move on. That's not my place. I do sage a place and I will say the Lord's Prayer and what I need to try to cleanse it for the time. But my thought, it's a spirit. It doesn't matter if it's cleansed for a time or not. They probably just don't like the smell. They're going to come back if they want to. I mean, we can only do so much. But if it is something that I feel like I can't do, maybe because I do it based on the person's religion. If it's somebody that's pagan, I'll go to somebody that's pagan and have them take care of it. Or if it's more than that, I'll go to Padre Casey and see if Padre Casey Scruggs knows anybody that's in that area that can help out that family. But that's what I do. I don't try to push anybody to cross the light or anything because, I mean, I don't know the whole story of the property. I'm only there for as many hours as I can be, and I don't want to assume something and try to push that entity over whenever they really may not want to go over. I know when I die, I want to be in this realm because I want to explore everything. Don't make me cross over.
All the psychic mediums I talk to and, basically doing my sessions through the spirit guides on the SB7, my guides have told me that you can choose. You can either go towards the light or you can turn away from it and go exploring.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
You know what's funny? My cousin, all right, my cousin had told me, because I had told him I was in the paranormal and everything, and he had told me of a time that he died on the table. And he said, "Cuz, I want to tell you, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I saw my body on the table. I did not feel a pull to the light. I did not feel a pull to anything else. The only thing I felt was anxious." And he said, after that, it was darkness, and then I woke up.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm like, okay. But he was one of the first people that I spoke to that had died on a table. And another person that had died on the table said that they didn't feel anything either. They were just, they saw their body and that was it. And it's like, well, is there really anything? But to go back on that, you were talking about your spirit guide saying you can either go towards the light or you can stay and explore. Yep. I have heard a lot of people say that as well, that they could go towards the light or they can stay and explore. So it kind of has that, is there a God, is there a hell kind of thing? Because if you don't see a light, are you just waiting for the devil to pull you under? Or if you believe in something different, is that bad side of something different? Because in my opinion, everything is linked to the same thing. All religions are linked to the same thing. They just branch off into different directions. So good, bad, whatever. So my thinking is, if they don't see the light, then maybe they're just waiting for that time before they're yanked into their hell, so to speak. What Dreams May Come is a great movie, by the way.
No, I've heard so many different near-death experiences, and you know, I've seen I've met people that have seen the light. I've met people that saw like a cave that had fire at the end of it, and they were walking down it and felt like they were walking on maggots, and they're like guys demon. I don't know if it's, I mean, everything that I've experienced, I don't believe in demons. Like, I think they're spirits. Like, if you're an asshole in life, you're gonna be an asshole
to death. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, they know how to manipulate things. They know how your equipment works, so they'll say whatever they want, or you know, they'll just do whatever they can to get you scared, you know, and not want to do that. And you know, I believe there's one source of energy, and that's what God is. Because we're all energy, we're all vibration, and I think that's the light. You can return yourself to the light, or you can turn around. So it's like a positive negative thing, like a magnet, you know.
Right. Well, there is scientific proof that your soul goes into energy. I mean, I can't remember the name of the doctor or the video, but there was a video that I saw many years ago where the doctor shows that the energy that's in your body escapes your body in death. So it's like, well, I mean, and I can't say there's not any demons, because look at the exorcisms that have happened in the past. I mean, it could be just an evil entity that's taking over someone that they're exorcising. Granted, but I don't know. I mean, they have a whole book of demon names, and they've called out these names to exorcise them from people. I don't know. I mean, the Exorcism of Emily Rose, that movie that's based on Annalise, I can't remember her last name, the German girl that died, that was exorcised. I heard some of her exorcism tapes, and those are the creepiest fucking tapes I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. I mean, her voice is totally different. It's not hers. And it's just crazy how they capture stuff like that. And I used to go to the archives a lot to listen to those, and now I can't find it. I don't know if they've hidden it or they just took it off the web or what, but there were some creepy tapes.
And with the Christian and Catholic religions, you know, I think they purposely work with Hollywood and stuff to make sure these movies come out once a year, because every year there's always that one demon movie or exorcist movie that keeps people afraid, you know. Until
Did you see the newer one?
The Pope's Exorcist?
Yes.
That was crazy.
Oh my God. I love that movie. Now the ending was a little over dramatic, but but it was still a good story. It was still a really good story.
Yeah. No, it was good. And in fact, my son just watched all three Conjurings with me, so he's starting to get a little
Oh
paranormal.
yes,
Yeah, it
yes,
was
The
funny. He was
Conjuring.
holding his blanket over his head. I'm like, it's a movie. I'm like, it's not. Your dad goes to houses and does this stuff. It doesn't happen like that.
I've been telling my son, my 19-year-old, I'm like, okay, when are you going to go on a paranormal investigation with me? He goes, I'm not, Mom. I'm like, but you watch it. He goes, but I'm not going. I'm like, oh, you're such a scaredy cat. You're going to let your mom beat you in this stuff? He's like, yep,
Little
you
JK,
go for
little
it.
JK Junior. And it's funny. His name's Jackson Keywords. So
Aw.
he is a JK.
Aw.
He's JK
And
Junior.
how old is he?
He's 14. He's starting
Oh,
high
he's
school.
14 and hiding under the covers. Well, I can understand.
It's
I can
all right.
understand.
I understand,
I was 14 hiding under the covers too. My daughter loves stuff like that too.
No, I love the movies, and I'm glad that he's starting to show a little interest in paranormal. I wish I started earlier. I really do. Like I'm 47 now, and I'm like, fuck, I'm old as shit.
I'm 45. I'm 45. So I'm right there with you. I didn't start until 12, 13, 14.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
I've only been doing this for 3 years.
But you've had this gift. When did you notice you had? Well, you know what? I'm not going to ask you because you can answer it on my show.
Yeah, I was going to say I can answer it now, but all I'll say is if you go to Discovery Plus, search for the show Mission Unexplained. I'm on episode number 3, and that's when stuff got weird.
Really?
That's when I was in Iraq and stuff happened.
Oh, wow. Mission Unexplained.
That's when I found out about spirit guides. Yeah. I didn't know what it was.
But yeah, I'm not going to ask you any more questions.
Episode 3.
The podcast and me is just wanting to jump back with question after question.
Right? Battle back and forth. So, did you watch the roulette wheel?
I did not. I've worked really late every night this week, and honestly, I haven't even played a video game since Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I haven't been on my computer. I'm like, oh my God, I'm working too much.
But they had a good subject that came up on the wheel. What is a soul? What is a soul?
Oh, it's your energy.
I should have been on that show.
I know. It's your energy.
And they're like, they were giving their answers and stuff. Like, when does the soul enter the body? And I was like, I should have been on. And they were saying, at conception. And I see science. I've seen them science. When the sperm hits the egg, there's a weird spark of light. Like it happens every time, and they say the same thing happens when you die. You see, you'll see, the body have a spark of light. So that's entering and exiting. I think that's your soul. Personally.
Yep, and I mean, I do believe that there's possibility of reincarnation. Because of memories that I've had that I didn't experience in this lifetime. And a lot of people will say, well, that was just because you dreamed it and all this and that. And I'm like, it was a vivid fucking dream if that was something I dreamed. I don't have that vivid of dreams to remember it constantly after, because I started dreaming about it when I was like 16 years old. And it occurs every other year or something like that, and it's the same dream over and over again. And it's like, I don't think that. I think that's something with the subconscious that's telling you, hey, this thing happened at a certain time. But
so
who am I?
What about astral projection? What about astral projection? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm a little skeptic over it. Show me something, prove it to me before I can believe it. And I've yet to have anybody prove it to me. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. I'm just going to say I don't
I
know.
can say I've had a couple of really lifelike dreams. Like it was me, but in a like different timeline. Like it was my house, but my kitchen wasn't there. Like it was remodeling the kitchen. My wife wore her hair different, and it was real as heck. And my
Could it be a
co-host
multiverse?
I don't know. It happened twice, and the other one was really weird. It was like our house, and there's a big tree out front, but I don't have a big tree. And this vehicle came and crashed into the tree, and four gang members, or big guys, start running it towards my house. And I
So like a
remember running in.
1930 mafia?
No, it was like an
Oh,
Escalade. It was. And
okay.
and I ran into the house, and I told my wife, call 911. I turned around, and my son's getting pounded by these guys, and
Oh
then I woke up
God.
all of a sudden, and I was like, what the hell was that? And it was like a 30-second experience, but it happened like in 8 hours of sleep. That's the really weird thing.
Wow,
But
right?
so my co-host on Talking with the Source, it's a show that we do on Sundays. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. my time. They he has astro projected. He was able to tell he was in his bed. If I get the story right, he was laying in his bed, he fell asleep, and he saw his own body. He was able to go into the other room and hear his grandma and his uncle talking, and was able to describe everything in the room. And
Wow.
he went out and said, were you guys just talking about this, and this? And they're like, how did you know that? Like, his room's on the other side of the house and he was asleep. So
Holy shit.
yeah.
Okay, any of you that astral project out there, please leave my bathroom alone. It's private, and my bedroom.
Oh, I can think of a million other places.
Probably. Yes. Okay, my whole house is private. So let's not go there. Let's not go there, because you never know. You might see something you don't want to see.
Right. Get some response you don't want out of the spirit.
Right?
Oh gosh. What's your dream location? Where do you want to go next?
Oh my God. A castle in Ireland. That is one of my dream locations. Either Ireland or Hungary. I want to go to either or.
Yeah.
That would be an epic location.
I don't know. I think to myself, where would I want to go? Like I want to go to some place where, like, those abandoned cities, like nobody's been around for years, and just
or the amusement parks.
Yeah. Just somewhere different.
I don't think I do, Chris. I don't think I do. Sid Patrick.
We had Tony Ferguson on our show on Talking with the Source. He does Haunted Ireland. Like he's on that show. He's out in the UK. He's a good guy.
You know what's funny is that I believe I have a Tony Ferguson on my Facebook page, and when I was in the service, I knew a Tony Ferguson. I was in the same unit as he was, and he was atheist, and I'm trying to remember a lot of things, but he wasn't British. He was American. But I just thought it was funny because he sent me a friend request. And I'm like, or maybe I sent him a friend request, or I saw him or something. I'm like, no, I don't think this is the same Tony Ferguson.
So his gift is he can activate the spirits in the room. Like he's gotten so crazy videos. Like he got an apparition in this castle walking through the hallway.
Whoa.
And his gift is just amazing. And he is such a good guy. He doesn't deal with any of the paranormal BS. Like he feels who's genuine and who's not. And
right.
He's such a good guy. But Chris says he's the guy that puts a trip to Dracula's castle in the fall.
You know what's funny is that my best friend is moving back to Romania. She's married to a Romanian, and unfortunately, they denied his visa because of stupid fucking COVID. But yeah, he refused to get the shot. But so she's moving back to Romania, and she told me, she goes, "You need to come out here one year and go to Dracula's castle." And I'm like, "Girl, you already invited me. You're my best friend. You already should know I'm going to be out there sometime." So I'm ready.
Are you in Louisiana now, or are you in?
No, I'm in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay. So Louisiana is not far away. That place, there's all sorts of crazy places.
Oh, New Orleans. New Orleans calls to me every time I go down there. Every time. It is amazing. And I have a friend that actually lives there, and I need to get in touch with her and say, "Hey, girl, I want to come down and do some visiting. What do you think?" Because I've gone to the French Quarter, and just in the French Quarter alone, there's such a heaviness that is, even if you don't have gifts, it just, you can feel it. You can feel the thickness, and it's crazy. It's crazy. No, I love New Orleans. I love Louisiana.
I do too. It's where my brother's buried. He's buried in Covington. At the veterans graveyard there, and I want to visit his in-laws. We become pretty close since his death and stuff. They live down in Huma, and that place, I just love that place. We walked around there, and I could just feel all sorts of weird vibes. I was like, man, these buildings are old as shit.
Right?
Yeah.
It is crazy. The one building where that Nicolas Cage owned, to this day I cannot, I try to remember her name, the one that held the slaves and held them captive and put them and tortured them and shit. You know which one I'm talking about. I'm sure Chris will probably be able to throw it up there. But it's that place. We were doing a ghost tour when I went down there back in 2019. I think it was, no, 18, maybe, whatever. It was before COVID. And we went down there and we did one of the ghost tours that were down there. And we had stopped right in front of this house, and they were talking about it and everything. You could feel the thickness, just feel the energy that comes and radiates off of those places. And you knew there was like a big, huge fire that swept throughout the French Quarter, right? Yeah. That in itself is just, yes. Chris, oh my God, yes. Katrina, and all of that. It's crazy. Crazy.
Another city that I lived in, I hate
LaLaurie House. Sorry.
The Laura.
Thank you, Chris.
Your rock brother, our investigator.
I knew he would be able to figure it out.
But the Seattle. I did the underground tour.
Oh, the tunnel.
There's a big flood or fire or something, and they built the city on top of the city, and it's crazy.
New York's the same way. There's thousands of bodies underneath that big city. Thousands. And it just amazes me that, I mean, you can look at some of the people down there and you can tell that it just wears on them.
You know what? Just thinking about that and all the crime, like they're the most crime-ridden cities. So all that energy, I'm wondering, like, even in Louisiana, like.
Exactly. Well, look at the big cities. You've got New York, you've got Chicago, you've got Detroit, you've got LA. All of these big, huge ass cities that are built on top. Yeah. I mean, it's a coincidence.
I'm just saying.
A coincidence.
It's awfully curious. Jealousy. I always wanted. I did that in 2012. We moved out there 2011, and we moved back to Colorado 2014. I mean, we got some cool places here, like the Abbey down in.
That is where I want to go. And I told Grandpa, what's up, Gramps, that I would love to come out there. But because I started my new business, I've got to see where my money lies before I make a commitment.
Dennis is a great guy.
He
I've investigated
is.
there millions of times with Chris and
I
him.
actually watched you when you were investigating.
Oh, did you?
I did. And whenever I saw you on here, I was like, hey, I know him from somewhere. Where do I know? Oh.
Yeah, there mayhem events happening this May. It's a whole weekend event. I might skip out this weekend. If I can, I might pop down there for one night. I don't know. It's just so much is going on. I got 3 podcasts now, and I'm kind of I love staying home now, It's so much stuff.
I know. It's like with Geeks Paranormal, we haven't really done a lot here lately because I've been doing the podcast. I've been trying to rebuild this podcast because I was on a previous podcast, and because of circumstances that ended, and I started this one. What's up, Robert, my Australian buddy? How you doing? But I started this one, and This is my 3rd season, and I've only done it 2 years in a row live. So it's a start over. So the start over point, I did a whole bunch of traveling last year, and it's catching up with my pocketbook. So I'm having to hold off. But the lucky thing is EPP was announced as podcast for High Nation's paranormal horror convention in July in Paragould, Arkansas. So they're sponsoring me to come out in July.
There you go.
Then it's awesome. I'm stoked. I'm really excited. And
so how many episodes do you have in a season?
It depends. I usually do it every Sunday. And I start like this year I started in February, but last year I started in January, and I went clear up until November. So the only problem is trying to get these episodes up onto Audio Bloom when I'm supposed to, because I am so busy. So
how can I explain? I'll take it frame by
I love that. I'm going to use that slogan, Chris. Like this year's slogan is, "Are you down with EPP?"
Nice. So targeting with the JK-47, I'm on episode 55. I just don't know when to cut it a season, I'm just like, I'm just going to keep going episodes.
Well, I always cut right before Thanksgiving because the holidays are so busy for me, being a wife, being a mom, cooking Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas. So I usually cut it right before Thanksgiving, and then I start back up at the new year. So I go all year. Now, if something happens, like I'm going to be gone for that Sunday, then I'll do a live feed. If I'm going to be at a place or at a convention, like I'll probably be at the Paragould convention in July. So I'll be doing live feeds all weekend.
Yeah.
So that is something that
is your team going to go with you?
One person of my team goes. She travels with me, so I have somebody to travel with. She wasn't able to for the Hinsdale investigation, so I did that traveling all by myself. From Oklahoma to New York. That's an 18-and-a-half-hour drive.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Oh yeah, I always stopped at the same truck stop everywhere I went, and I carried a big old knife on my hip. And I'm like, all right, I'm prepared.
There you go.
So as long as you're prepared, because a lot of states don't let you carry. So, I mean, here in Oklahoma, it's open carry.
Yeah. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly. So yeah, I will do traveling if I need to. Or if I have the money to. And that was just an opportunity I couldn't turn down. Angel Vale, she invited me to the Hinsdale house during the week that she goes, and she is just such an amazing human being. I love her so much that I just could not say no. So I went and enjoyed every fucking minute of it. Every minute of it. Oh yeah. She's.
I would say my favorite was the old Montana State Prison.
I haven't done that.
Was fun. There go the dogs. Somebody got home. Anyway, it was just 2 of us. It was just me and AJ, and I paid $600 for up to 10 people, and it was just us two in the whole location, the whole prison.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
That is what I want. I want to be able to do a prison where there's just so few, or at least people that I trust, that I know are investigators that will take it seriously, and not some goofball that wants to just ghost hunt.
Yeah, well, so that's the advice I always tell everybody is call the location. You know, you might have to do it during a weekday, but you know, either way, you'll have to take time off from work or whatnot. You know, just schedule it, because you'll end up getting a better deal. You know that the money goes right towards the location for reestablishing and repairs or whatnot. And yeah, it was the best $600 I ever spent. You know, I could have took up to 10 people.
That is so nice, but you took 2.
Yeah.
And how big is the prison?
Oh my gosh. They have the big wall around it. He did a whole he had a drone that did the whole thing. There's the main prison, there's the gift shop, and the thing where the lady sits. She sat in there all night. And then there's the women's prison. So there was it's huge. It's huge. Wow. And then there's the theater house. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I want to do the Missouri State Pen and Ohio State. I want to do both of those. But at the same time, you got to have money for them. But I understand. Always support the location, because that money goes towards that location and keeping it up for you guys to be able to go and investigate it. So, yeah. And that's what I would love. That's another thing I would love to do, is find a location that's not well known that we can get to and help the person out by bringing people in and sharing the location. Kind of like the McIntyre Villa. I'm going to that this year. I'm going to be going to that with, excuse me, with Ken Rothmeiler, who is a co-host with me on Amok Paranormal that airs on Tuesdays at 7 Central Time on YouTube. Just look up Amok Paranormal, and we're going to go there, and you know, it helps her out by her keeping up that location and keeping it to where people can go and investigate those locations. And it's amazing, especially those people that actually do that. It is very nice of them to keep those locations going.
Yeah, at the Holy Cross Abbey down in Canyon City, like he's doing everything he can to get this money to fix the roof, because the roof is, it leaks a lot of water. And I feel so bad for the place, you know, because it's a very beautiful building, and there's actually 4 or 5 buildings that you can investigate. That so much to do there. Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's kind of like Ashmore Estates. I've been there too, and Robin is amazing, but he took that building and all the money that people spend on going out there, he has fixed it up. He has replaced the windows. He's replaced the roof. He has fixed everything in that place for everybody to go out and enjoy the spirits that walk that place. And I admire these people and I respect these people, because they are showing that money does not go in their pocket. It goes towards that location. And that to me is amazing. Keep it up, guys. Keep up doing that kind of stuff, because that's amazing.
Chris says you need to go to the Abbey. You got to come.
He's been telling me that for almost, God, how long now? 8 months? I plan to. I really do. I want to go to the Abbey. It's one of my to-do lists. It's on my bucket list. I've seen so much stuff that Gramps has put out there, and I'm trying to get him on my show, but he never answers my.
No, I'm trying to get him on my show. I'm like, I'm going to show down there. Well, you don't have to come up here. Like,
right? We can just go online. We can just do that and everything. But I don't think he really sees it. And Chris is always like, you need to text him. You need to call him. And it's like trying to find time to text him and call him because of how busy I am. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Gosh, this hour flew by. It flew by.
Oh my God, it did.
I can't thank you enough. You know, shout out your stuff. This is your show. Shout out all your stuff.
Well, you can find me on Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Time on kick.com/geeks paranormal. And if you missed the show and you want to listen to the past part of the shows like season 1 and season 2, you can go to exploringtheparanormalperspective.com and you can see that listen button right on the front page. Click it and go. This Sunday, I have Mike Ricksecker on the show. He's going to be talking about the Alaska Triangle and his book. So come on, ask him questions. It's live. So you can come and ask him questions. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do it live, is to get the audience participation in it, get them involved, get them to ask questions if they want to ask questions, because you never know. I mean, hell, maybe later I can get Patty Negri on the show and you guys can ask Patty Negri some questions, because I absolutely adore her. I am too. She's a sweetheart. I've had her on twice already, on the previous twice. I keep doing that twice on a previous show. Hi, Desiree. But yeah, that's awesome.
A great guest. I like having Patty on. Yeah.
She is amazing and so much energy. She has so much positive energy. It's crazy. You can feel it.
I got her.
Yes. So join us because it'll be on legitpodcast.com too, Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time to speak with Mike Ricksecker. I also have true crime on there, and I have what I call geek searches, which is research on haunted places, things, and people. And I take your suggestions, the audience suggestions, and I bring it and I research it and I give it to you. But yeah. And then I'll have I have the Paragold convention coming up in July 12th, that weekend. And then I have the Macachair Villa that's going to be live in August. I think it's August 3rd. And then I have Border Town, which is in Caney, Kansas, the last Saturday in September. And the last weekend in October is going to be Arkansas Expo, the Arkansas Paranormal Expo. So that is what I have coming up so far this year. There may be more, but I can always go to the website and check it out.
Yeah, no, you're busy. So did you get your Tumblr yet?
I have not, but they are working on it. I've forgotten to give them the logos. You reminded me.
What Mike says. He says, does that mug have a good feeling weight? Yes, it does. And it also keeps the cold stuff cold and the hot stuff. I love my mug.
I can't wait to get mine. I'm excited.
Yeah, thanks to Parapose for letting Legit on and getting us some more exposure. Thank you so much, Brian Laverty. And Legit podcast, check her out, or check her show out. And I love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.